views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready, 'cause it's the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks live from Las Vegas. I am joined with Miss Debbie Richards. I think she is an amazing filmmaker, and I'm just so excited to have her on today. And we're talking about a really short film that just came out, which is already getting amazing reviews. And actually, we are going to talk about the film festival that it's in, and everyone needs to go vote for. But then also the feature film coming up. So lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about.
Why don't you introduce yourself first and tell people about your filmmaking?
Okay, so I'm a longtime Vegas resident. I've been here 21 years now.
Oh wow, that's
awesome.
awesome.
It goes quick, and I've pretty much been making films my whole life.
Yeah.
Got really serious about it about 8 years ago and went to film school at CSN.
Oh, cool.
And so I've made a bunch of shorts. I'm a working film director. I direct a lot of commercials for brands, and I work with a lot of international brands like Walmart, EDC. I directed my first special for the History Channel last year.
Oh wow.
I'm just a working director.
Yeah.
But I'm still yet to make my first feature film, but I'm like on the cusp of that right now.
Yep.
And I recently made a short called Dark Lights, based here in Vegas.
Which is awesome.
Thank you. It's a 10-minute horror rated R, so rah. and we finished it about 8 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
And it's already had, I think, 9 awards in film festivals.
Wow.
So it is. This is like my 6th time on the film festival circuit, and I've never had such fast, instant response from one of my shorts, so it's really exciting.
And it's well deserved. And we were
Thanks.
just talking about earlier too. The camera work is amazing. It's
Thanks.
so the quality is amazing, and the camera too. That's sitting here too.
So
is awesome.
I didn't actually film it with that. I filmed it with a different camera,
did you?
but I had to wear so many hats making that. I was
Yes.
the writer, director, DP, camera girl, drone pilot, editor, special effects artist, VFX artist, sound designer, colorist, wardrobe, production design, and I even wrote the song at the beginning.
The true filmmaker
True
of everything.
filmmaker. That's what I think, you know,
Yes.
because I always think of myself as an author in training, you know, because
I like that, yeah.
Thanks, yeah, because you know, a lot of people really focus on one discipline, whereas I think you have to know it all to be a filmmaker. You know, there's so many moving parts. The more you can know about more, the better served you'll be.
Absolutely. And it's such difficult work. I could never do it because it's so hard. But I know just from acting, I see what everyone has to do, and it's so much work that goes into it that people don't even realize. And
so much.
It takes forever, and that like you said, a short film could take a year to finish easily.
Well,
so I mean, it's really difficult.
Yeah,
you know?
to give you one idea, there's a shot in the short of a snowy farmhouse in the distance, and that was all CGI and made in Blender, so it's a CGI model. But I didn't know how to use Blender when I started it, so I had to learn from scratch. And that shot that is in there for I think 4 seconds took 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
And that because not only did I have to,
it's worth it, but
not only did I have to learn Blender and all this new software, but I also had to architecturally design a farmhouse.
Yeah.
And it ended up having the equivalent of 500,000 digital nails. So it was for 4 seconds of on-screen time.
That's crazy, but it's amazing, and it turned out great.
Yeah, it looks good, so I'm happy.
It was worth it. It's really difficult, and it's unfortunately, unless you're at the very top, it's hard to make money and get. It's just so much work, and that's why you need a lot of support from other friends and fans and everything. And
well, I was always taught in film school you can fix any problem in the movie business with well, making a movie rather. You can fix any problem with. You can either spray it with the money hose, or you can get crafty.
Right.
So
Gotta do
that's
it,
that's the
yeah.
options. That's it.
But you've been doing amazing, and you have been given so much support from, like, obviously you said of the short film that just 8 weeks and not you have 9 awards already
Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
and brand new. So I can't even imagine how many you'll get in a year from now.
Well, we've got a year of festivals, and it's been entered into I think 110 festivals,
Wow.
and of which I think 40% offered us full free waivers and
Wow.
invited us to submit.
That's great enough.
That's positive.
Yeah, because that's too another thing. Entering costs money. I mean, just
Oh,
every
yeah.
little part costs so much money. It's really a labor of love. You have to be so passionate about it, and you really
Yeah.
have to love it.
I don't think people realize that film festivals range from like $4 to $300 to enter one
Easily.
festival.
Uh-huh.
And then if you want to have a really good showing at a festival, say you have a feature film and you're taking it to Sundance and you're looking for distribution. If you want a serious, attempt at that, then you need at least $10,000 in your pocket to do that, because
Yeah.
you got to fly there, you got to stay in hotels which are $800 a night during Sundance. You got to have your, your main actors, your DP maybe. You've got to buy X amount of tickets to give out to the press. You got to hire a driver to drive you around town, and that all adds up. So
Yes.
just to even, have an independent feature that you're seriously trying to push into distribution at Sundance, you
Yeah.
can spend up to 10,000 easy.
Yeah, it's insane, but
That's
obviously, it's people really do love it, and I hope you do gain this support and attraction. You
Thanks.
already are, but I'm sure it will get so much bigger soon. And why don't we also talk about the feature film too? Because I know
Yeah.
that's exciting coming up.
I'm very, very excited. So, as you know, or as you guys might not know, recently there's a competition in Las Vegas put together by a local actor by the name of Ben Stober, and he got together with a local production company called Got Films, owned by Jeremy Settles, and they decided they wanted to inject a little energy into the film market here, and so they put together this competition called the Lucky 777 Film Competition. And basically they chose 7 filmmakers, and they've given us each $7,000 and 7 days to shoot a feature.
Yeah.
So when they asked me to apply, it was really exciting. There was a whole process, like couple phone interviews. I had to write a director's statement and all this stuff.
Right.
And I had to pitch an idea. So I was always taught in film school, first film, do a horror because it's the easiest to sell internationally. So I had this idea for this shock horror that was kind of centered around a crazy hairdresser and a daughter that she mauled with a pair of scissors, and it was it was all. But I thought about it, and then at the 11th hour, like a couple days before they announced who they were going to pick, I called up Ben and I said, hey, I woke up this morning with a whole new idea. I want to do something completely different. And so at the 11th hour, I pitched a totally different thing.
Wow.
And much to my delight, Ben said, I love it. Then I got told a couple days later that I'm one of the directors that's been picked.
Yep.
And so I have to hand in my screenplay by January, February, March, April, May 1st. Then we're shooting in July this summer in Vegas, and then I'm delivering the movie in November.
That's so quick. Yeah.
So it's
a lot.
exciting. It's called Move Me No Mountain.
Oh, okay.
And it's a drama about a real estate agent in Vegas who can't get past the death of her own daughter. And she has tremendous guilt for this because she caused the car accident that killed her daughter. And so as a way of self-punishing herself, she walks out from society and decides to become homeless. And so, because I didn't want to do a horror with blood and vampires and I thought it'd be much more interesting if I did something really visceral and real. And so, to me, the idea of being homeless on the streets of Vegas is horrific. I mean, it's a brutal place to be homeless, and we have some 35,000 homeless people here in the valley, and the weather here can be very abrasive. And there's this huge dichotomy behind the all the wealth of the Strip and the glitz and the glamour, and then there's this underworld literally under the city.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
Literally, and so that really fascinated me, and so I thought, it'd be really cool to see her struggle trying to survive.
Yeah.
And through the movie, it's a story of redemption. Through the movie, she learns to forgive herself, and in the second act, she meets this homeless little girl that she ends up looking after, and that's the catalyst for her at the end of the movie getting into a halfway house, and getting back into society.
That's awesome.
And so it's called Move Me No Mountain. We're actually going to donate a portion of the movie's proceeds to help a homeless organization here in Vegas.
Oh, cool.
We have a couple meetings with a few of them next week.
Yeah.
So that's all coming together, and I'm very excited. I'm at this stage, I always have this weird combination of being extremely overconfident and completely terrified at the same time.
Right.
And it's this weird dichotomy again. But I'm very, very excited, and yeah.
No, you should be excited, and I think that sounds amazing, and it will be, I think, a very powerful story as well, because not just here across the world, homelessness is such a horrible problem, and it shouldn't be, because that's a whole nother story.
Well, I think also the movie speaks to disconnection,
Yes.
because which is very relevant in these times.
Absolutely.
It being 2021. Not 2000. We've just gone through a horrible year and a half,
sure
and
have.
and a lot of people, myself included, feel disconnected.
Absolutely.
So I think it will resonate, and I wanted to do something more meaty that I could see getting into film festivals, and
Yes.
it's my feature debut, so I don't want to blow it. I want to do something that's that I'm going to get some recognition for,
Yeah.
instead of just another horror.
Right.
That there's a lot of horrors out there, and it's hard to really distinguish stuff that's really quality. So yeah, that's why I wanted to do that. But also, speaking about disconnection, this is really strange. I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube lately about different directors and their styles, and over a body of work, any director, certain things start to emerge as a pattern that define their style.
Right.
And so I was thinking about all my past works, because I've done like 9 short movies, and they've all been pretty ambitious. In fact, one that I did in 0G 6 years ago won 4 Emmys. So I've always had really ambitious shorts, but now there's a pattern emerging. And when I saw the pattern, I was like, what? The pattern is all my stories deal with disconnection.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, why? What am I trying to say? Because Send Hollywood My Love was about disconnection from reality.
Right.
This movie is about disconnection from society.
Right.
Boy Meets Girl was disconnection from humanity. So there's this disconnection
interesting.
theme.
That is true,
And
right.
I'm like, why?
On all different levels.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so I called up my longtime collaborator and the amazing Emmy-nominated producer Patrick Wirtz, who I'll be creating Move Me No Mountain with.
Awesome.
And I called him in the middle of the night, and I was like, Pat, what does this mean? What does this say about me? Am I disconnected? And so we were thinking about it, and maybe it's because I traveled so much when I was younger. I've lived in 4 countries. Maybe that's
Wow.
part of it. I also feel like in Vegas, everyone is here from somewhere else.
Yeah, very true.
So there's a spirit of we're in it together kind of thing, which I
Right.
love. But I also feel like we're slightly disconnected from the rest of the world. I mean,
Right.
like not only geographically, but like kind of maybe spiritually. I don't
No,
know.
I see what you mean. Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's this
Yeah.
theme of disconnection, which is I'm cool that I recognize as a theme in the work, but it's kind
Yes.
of bothering me at the same
No,
time.
but it's good you recognize it. But I think I think a lot of people really can relate to it, and I think people are starting to finally more talk about mental health and everything. But
Well, that's another
a lo-
huge component of
Yeah.
Move Me No Mountain, the fact that she can't forgive herself, and she has
Right.
crippling guilt, and there's no support system for that kind of mental
There's
anguish.
not, right.
So and her throughout the movie, she sees, like in a crowd, her daughter, or in a car driving past, but she can never quite get there. And,
Right.
in the movie, we're thinking as we watch it, we're like, is she seeing a ghost, or is she a little? And she's just kind of unraveling.
Gotcha. Which I think anyone in that situation would absolutely.
Right. So disconnection, mental, instability, and homelessness. These are all very poignant topics that are really relevant to today's culture. So hopefully I think it will resonate on a lot of levels.
Oh, I think so, absolutely. And like I said, a lot of people really can relate to disconnect. Even pre-pandemic, I think people could, but now especially, everyone's just like, I mean, I'm I'm like, I just want to get out of quarantine and I want life to go back to normal. I think everyone wants that. And even then, you're not always with someone. You're busy, you're alone a lot of the times. And so I think that's a really great thing and a message to get out there. And that's cool that your films do have that. And now, especially, it's so prevalent and everyone can really relate.
Right. And the other thing that I'm really excited about as well is we're able to raise money to put into the 777 film. We're not just restricted to the money that we've been given.
Gotcha.
So we're trying to raise some private investment money,
Awesome.
and I believe tomorrow we're shooting an Indiegogo for all the filmmakers.
Good.
So that's going to launch pretty soon. So
Good.
that's exciting.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So lots going on. And then, of course, there's a film festival that Dark Lights is in right now
Yes.
in London.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's very
That's
exciting.
Very cool.
We're nominated for Best Horror.
Yes.
And also you can vote for your audience favorite. This is the Kino Short Film Festival. It's going on in London. I think it's going on for another 48 hours. It's been going on since Friday last week.
Gotcha.
There's 50 short films. You can pay whatever you feel like. It's donations only, so 0 to $1 billion and more. And it's exciting because we're in third place currently on the audience favorite vote.
Wow.
So so please, by all means,
Yes.
go to the Kino Short Film Festival in the next 48 hours and vote for whichever movie you think is the best. But
it's
Dark
gotta
Lights.
be exactly. I agree. It sure is.
So it would mean a lot if you could support us because there's I think £1,000 for the audience favorite, and if we win that, of course, we're putting it straight into Move Me No Mountain,
Yeah.
which helps create jobs for people here in Vegas.
Yes, which is very needed right now, especially in the
Yeah.
film community. It's a lot of people aren't filming, and it's very hard to find work, and the shows even. There's so many different things they're struggling right now.
Yeah, and even pre-pandemic, like every time I do a short, I'm always struggling with the budget because, like
Right.
you said, it costs so much money.
Yeah.
So I'm always stressing that I want to pay people exactly what they're worth, and I want to pay them more than what they're worth. But there's always that, hey, can you hook me up? Can you do it? Can you do me the friend? Budget,
Right.
favor,
You
the
got
frame
it,
rate
yeah.
and stuff. And at some point, that's got to stop.
Right.
At some point, I've got to be able to raise the money because people believe in my work.
Yeah.
And I think after 10 years of freelancing, 4 Emmys, hundreds of commercials, and a film killing it in film festivals, I think I'm just about there.
Yes, I
So
agree. Absolutely.
I feel like, with a little support, that I can pass that through to the people that really deserve it.
Yes, and I think you will get that support, and I really think a lot of people are already so attracted to your films and everything, and you, like you said, you've received so many awards, and you've done it for so long now, and I think people will really start paying attention even more, and hopefully support you, because that's a big thing. If you can, any type of support's amazing, but especially if you financially can support, that is such a big help to filmmakers here.
Right, absolutely.
And it's awkward to ask and stuff. So if you're just
I
really
hate
willing
that.
to be helpful and do it, that would be such a great thing.
Yeah,
for
I
people.
hate going out with my hand like, please.
I know.
Help me. I'm poor.
Exactly.
Give me money so that I can play with my camera.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
But
But you got to, and it's your passion.
It's a movie
Yeah.
business, and part of that is business.
Yeah.
And so we're going to try and raise, I think, $20,000 in private equity, and we're
Good.
giving 1% away for each $1,000 raise. So,
Good.
but then we're also trying to write some grants. We're also trying to get some product placement money, and then the crowdfund as well. So, I'd like to raise in total like 70,000, and we already have. I think we're up to 12, and it's only been 2 weeks.
That's awesome. I think you'll get there for sure.
So yeah, fingers
Good,
crossed.
good. Well, I think you're amazing. And where can
Thanks,
people
likewise.
go and support and everything you're doing? Because you got to keep up with that.
Sure. I think the rather than giving out a million social medias, the easiest thing is I like Instagram because it's pretty instant and there's less drama than Facebook.
Very true.
And so all my stuff is all under the same name, but you can find me on Facebook and you can directly message me. I always read all my messages and answer everyone, and it's Debbie in Pink. That's
I love that.
DebbieInPink. No E in the middle. It looks Swiss because it's 2 eyes. It looks like an IKEA thing. But Debbie in Pink on Instagram.
Yes, I love that username too.
Thanks.
It's a great one.
Well, it's so funny because when I first got on Instagram, I was like, Deborah Richards taken, Deborah Richards 1 taken, Deborah Richards 2 taken. I'm like, and then I was like, oh, I'm wearing pink. Okay, Debbie in pink. Done.
There you go. It worked out, and
Worked out.
it catches your eye too. So
Thanks.
that's always good. I know it's hard to find usernames and stuff too,
Oh, it's
especially if you're not
crazy.
the first one on the platform.
Oh my
You're
gosh! I just
in
got on
trouble.
TikTok a couple days ago
Oh,
and
that's a hard one.
created an
Uh-huh.
account, and someone's got Debbie in pink.
Do they?
I'm like, how dare you?
You're like, hey now.
Yeah, because it's like obviously they've seen like it's like some guy in India, and I have a big fan base in India, so I'm a little
Oh.
suspicious.
Gotcha. That,
Yeah.
that makes sense. No, but I just think you're awesome, and I really
Thanks,
hope people will
likewise.
support you. And on TikTok too, it's growing so big too. If you make little videos
Yeah.
on there too, you might gain support that way.
Well, my hairdresser said you really got to get on TikTok, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be on another social media. It takes so much time to
Yeah.
to create. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I watch tutorials, then I teach my intern, then I do a class online, then I shoot, edit, or direct for clients,
Yeah.
then I read screenplays for fun, then I watch movies for fun, and then I write, and then I go to bed.
Yeah.
So I literally just do film all day
All
long,
day,
every
every day.
day.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm like beyond obsessed.
Yeah.
I've just given up on a personal life and just thrown myself 1,000,000% into it. And so yeah, I don't have time to Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and
Absolutely.
Twitter and now TikTok. So she somehow convinced me to get in there. Thanks, Eileen. So she somehow convinced me to start up a TikTok. So I got 2 silly little videos, and that'll probably be it. But Instagram, I'm pretty active.
Yeah, no, that's great. I just think you're awesome, and I really hope people support you.
Thank
and
you.
I mean, obviously, people already notice you, but hopefully even more and more. And I'm sure the feature film will be amazing. And
I'm very, very excited.
yes, and I can't wait for it to screen. Your short film to screen in London too. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it's actually playing in on an IMAX in Greenwich Village, in Odeon IMAX on April 1st, as part of I think it's the Wild Sci-Fi London Film Festival.
That's amazing.
So that's exciting.
That'll be so cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly out there for that. So if you're in London, you want to grab a drink with me, I'll be there April 1st. And this isn't a joke; it really is April 1st.
That's
Yeah.
That's funny. But no, I thank you so much for being on, and
Thank
I really
you.
hope everything works out well, and I'm sure it will. I'm sure the film sounds like it will be incredible, so I'm sure it will just turn out.
Like I said, I'm
awesome.
supremely confident and terrified at the same
Yeah.
time.
But that's great, and you need that, and you deserve that confidence
Thanks.
because you really put out excellent pieces of work. So.
Thank you.
Good.
And
So
thanks for having me on. This
thank
is
you.
amazing.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please go support her in any way you can. Her films are amazing. You can check them all out, and then go vote now.
Kino Short
Get her
Film
number
Festival.
one. Get her number one because we could use the $1,000
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the movie.
Support.
Yes.
Let's hear it for Vegas. Vegas represent.
Absolutely. And thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you, and God bless.
Thanks.